Hello, everyone, and we are live. This is the second episode of the Gamerhub Newscast. We're not really going to have episodes as such, but it's going to be sort of as required newscasts for when we get a bit of a gaming news info drop, which we have certainly have today, haven't we, Gladrius?
Oh God, you dragged me out of outer space for this? Man, it's a funny day. But no, it's quite a wild day. We got Quake-Con kicking off today. We got Sunsoft making an announcement or several others in a couple of hours. We got Embracer Studios buying everybody. They just bought us $18. It was a great deal. And on top of that, the Pokemon World Championship. We've got a lot to cover, so we're just gonna jump right in here. Let's talk about this here first, Joe. Embracer Studios. This is just weeks, by the way, after they bought Crystal Dynamics, Lara Croft, all this stuff. But they're not done buying, are they? They've got Gandalf.
They have, yeah, they've gone out and only gone snagged the rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. For not just games though, but for TV and movies too, apparently. So, I mean, how do you see that working with Amazon?
I think like what it is, Amazon has the rights to some of the Tolkien books, but I think there's a possibility they may have gotten the rights from like WB because everything's going on with HBO Max and everything that they're cleaning house, trying to get $3 billion back. They canceled Batgirl. They might cancel the Flash. I don't know, but they're canceling all sorts of.
Let's hope they're
But
not.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean they picked up like they got the rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's actual literary works, which remain the property of the Tolkien estate. That's how it works. But they can make movies and TV shows from it. So I don't know what Amazon's deal is, but these guys can create their own variation of that, which is kind of cool. I think it's just more focusing on, like, the era after the Middle Earth age. I don't know. I don't like I said, I don't have all the details, but it is kind of cool how with his acquisition, like now they can make Lord of the Rings game. I mean, I've been dying to see a sequel to Conquest for like years, so you
Yeah.
never know. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of cool to see that happen.
Or
It's a
remakes of the old games, like the old Lord of the Rings
yeah,
games. Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3, they were incredible on the old on like PlayStation 2 or something. Those games are so
yeah,
good, and what they could do nowadays with the newer hardware with a remake like of those games, they could do some incredible stuff. Not to mention,
yeah.
obviously, stuff with the Rings of Power. And by the way, for this episode, because Gladriel sounds like Galadriel, we might have to call you Gladriel just for this.
Shit, she's a tough
We
female. That's
yeah.
But no, I mean that's not all. Let's run down the list of what they've acquired today because they went on a shopping spree.
They
They
did,
got
yeah. Why don't you?
Middle Earth Enterprises. That's the big one. But they also have Tatsujin. They're a Japanese studio that's headed by the founder of Toplan. They made all these classic shooters like Zero Wing. They made Snow Brothers, all these classics, and they're going to bring them back. This allows them to acquire Toplan's catalog, so we're going to see a bunch more classics come back to the surface, which is great. Bitwave Games, they picked them up. They're publishing some indie stuff like Waterling DX. Tripwire Interactive, that's a big one. They have Killing Floor 2, they have Maneater, they have Chivalry 2. That's a pretty big studio as well. And then this was an interesting snag. Limited Run Games, the guys that published the physical versions of those PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch games. Like they just published TMNT Shredder's Revenge. They did
Great
the
game.
physical version of Scott Pilgrim versus the World a while ago. So that's pretty big, because now Embracer can open up its own publishing firm. Like I don't really need it. They don't need it. They have THQ Nordic and Deep Silver and all that. But this is just a neat little arm in which they can give little games their love as well. So I mean
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're buying everybody. This is like I said, right after they got Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal. So it's kind of crazy how they're growing. And this is THQ Nordic primarily. I mean Embracer Group, but
Yeah.
one of the big
They've got a
parts of that
lot
is
in the
THQ.
Koch Media and stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah, and they just had their THQ just had their big presentation where they're bringing back South Park for another game somewhere down the road.
I tell you what, that I've been. Did I tell you? I think it was. Well, it was this year, so not that recently, but feels recent. I've been playing the South Park games again. I cannot wait to see what they can do with the old South Park games.
It's
Um,
gonna be fun. Well,
it's a
especially with
lot
the
of fun.
South Park guys on board. Like before they were on board, it was just licensing through Acclaim. Those games are awful. But then you get Trey Parker and Matt Stone actually involved in stuff like the Stick of Truth, the
Yeah,
Fractured
yeah.
Butthole.
Well, that's the
Butthole.
only way it can work with the South Park games, really, in my opinion. Like getting them involved, because it's also this 25th anniversary year of South Park this year, is it? So
Something like that.
I
Yeah,
think
they
so.
just
Cause
had a
I'm fairly
concert.
certain I've seen some things like them doing a live show and yeah, uh, like
Yeah.
50-something-year-old Trey Parker singing Kyle's mum's bee.
Oh, they did. They just had a concert.
Yeah.
It's on their channel, and yeah, they brought back the Rush guys, Geddy Lee and the other guitarist, because the drummer Neil Pearl he died a while back, but they brought them back to do some recording as well. It was
Yeah.
great. It
Yeah,
was
pretty cool.
really awesome. But yeah, we're getting off topic there.
We
Sorry,
are, we
folks.
are, yeah. We need to be a little bit quick here.
Again,
I
we're in
say
space.
we are, yeah.
Pokemon World Championships. Let's talk about this because they are back.
They are back, yeah, back in real life. I believe it's Pokemon Card Championships, and yeah, they're taking place in the UK at the moment.
Yep.
I don't have any reports of who's made it through or anything like that. I haven't actually even been watching them. I've been busy today, but they are back. There's like new with the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out as well. I think that everyone's trying to get back on the Pokemon hype. Actually, it's been a big year for Pokemon, really, if you think about it. The
Yeah.
back end of last year, they had the remakes of Diamond and Pearl. They
Hmm.
had Pokemon Legends Arceus, where they sort of changed up the formula even more, kind of had it.
That
Um,
actually came out earlier this year, I
this came out
believe.
in January, yeah, the 28th
Yeah,
of Jan.
January. So
And
yeah,
then now we've got the Pokemon Championships just a couple of months before Pokemon Scarlet Violet. So yeah, the world is going Pokemon crazy again. It's the highest grossing media IP for a reason, I guess. Um,
yeah.
Interestingly enough,
It's
and I just want to put this out there. Sorry, just
oh,
before you
you're
say
fine. You
that,
go, man, please.
um, is I'm looking to mooch myself some Pokemon cards. If anyone's got any old school Pokemon cards they want to give to me, please send it to me. Anyway, as you were saying.
Oh, as I was saying, they got all sorts of stuff in this tournament too. Pokemon Go is involved. Pokemon Unite is involved. I mean, it's not just the cards. It's
Mm,
really they're diversifying a lot of that stuff, and it looks like they're giving away a special card for the upcoming releases this year. So that's always great too.
very good stuff. Very good
It's
stuff. Yeah,
very cool.
it's in London. I think believe it's this week. I might, if I've got time this weekend, might try and go. We don't have hot weather preventing trains getting there, so maybe I'll go along and
Well,
let you know what's
if
going on with that.
that's a big if, because guess what else is happening this weekend?
Oh, go on.
Quake-Con.
Oh, and there's
Quake-Con.
been stuff
Here,
coming out of it already, isn't there?
yeah, now here's the thing. It's not a physical show. They're still doing the safety reasons for COVID. Maybe next year they'll have a big physical show, but they're doing a digital showcase. They've already begun showing off stuff from their new vampire co-op shooter from Arcane, which is
Mm,
Redfall, and that's
yes.
looking pretty good. You said it's a little spooky?
Yeah. So, I mean, this game, I was speaking. I think it was to Davy Boy the other day.
Mm.
Shout out to him, by the way. He's a good lad. That we were sort of saying about Quake-Con and Redfall being on there, and I think Starfield not. Anyway, and I was saying, yeah, I'm interested in finding out more out about Redfall. He was like, I'm not so interested. I think he's like, I need to know. I know everything I need to about that game. But I was like, oh, I kind of want to play because I got the feeling the characters, right, their dialogue, they've come across like a little bit sassy and a little bit cheesy. But I want this game to be sort of like I want it to be sort of atmospheric. I want you to feel it and like get into the story because that's what Arcane are known for, right? They're good, their stories and stuff.
Right.
And I didn't want obviously I don't want it to be like a horror game, and they literally came out and just answered that, and she said I can't remember her name, so I apologize, but yeah, she came out and said, yeah, this game it's spooky, like you go around and there could be anything behind the door, like of a lot of the buildings and stuff like that. So I'm pretty pleased about that, and if we get, we'll be keeping an eye out while the show's on as well. So if there's any more coming out of QuakeCon, we will keep you updated. But obviously, there is some other stuff that got
Oh,
announced. Is there?
we
Isn't
got a
there?
bunch of freebies. There's a bunch of freebies,
We
is
did
what it
indeed.
is.
Yeah. What did we get?
Over on Epic Game Store, Doom 64 is free right now, so you can get that. But if you have PC Game Pass, you're able to access games like Quake 4, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Wolfenstein 3D, Elder Scrolls Legend Battlespire, I believe the name of it is, and
Mhm.
Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard. And on
Yep.
top of that, Quake Champions, Heretic Serpent Riders, and Hexen Beyond Heretic, and Hexen Death Kings are also free on the Microsoft Store. Now, there's one more thing to add to that. There's some Quake Champions stuff happening tonight. They could finally confirm Quake Champions on Xbox Series S and X. Because I know a lot of people have been waiting for that to come to consoles. The Xbox One wasn't strong enough, but this new console just might be.
Mm. Because there's
So
more as well, isn't there? Elder Scrolls content as well that's actually free on the Microsoft Store today, and that is the Elder Scrolls Arena and the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, which I've obviously just gone on there and got. In fact, just before this, I was actually playing. Um, so I would love it if they brought this to console.
me too. I think a good multiplayer shooter is worth its weight in gold. The thing that makes me mad though,
What?
Quake 4 is not on Xbox because it came out several years ago when the Xbox 360 launched.
Mm,
Quake 4 was right behind it, and it was a great port. So I would love to see that backward compatible on the Xbox Series X, but I guess they're not doing that anymore. So yeah, you got to play it on PC, but still freebies, and who knows what else will get announced this weekend for the console Game Pass. I mean, they can't leave console Game Pass owners out in the wind. That's just not nice. It's not
no,
nice.
well, I mean, they'll argue that they're trying to grow their PC base. I mean,
Yeah, I got it.
rightly or wrongly so. I feel left out as but the good news is, I mean, Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall and Elder Scrolls Arena, like you can, you can run that on like a potato. Like this is
Yeah.
1992. That being said, the file was like 1.03 gigabytes.
Oh
Imagine that
God.
back in 1996.
You're getting me back in the 80s. Like I just got a 512 megabyte upgrade, and it's as big as a closet door. I mean, geez, man. Nowadays you can like compress it, but back in the 80s it was like, yeah, I got my tech upgrade. Where am I gonna put it? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. But along with this freebie stuff from Quake-Con, along with the possibility of Quake Champions, we also got a first look, not officially at the show, but there was a leak, and I have a feeling it's going to be talked about this weekend,
It
of
is, yeah, yeah.
Amazon's Fallout TV show. Now, tell me about this.
Right. Well, so there's just a couple of pictures that have been leaked. It looks really cool. So without going too much into Fallout lore, but the only stuff we've seen has been on, I believe it's on the East Coast. But this was going to be set on the West Coast. Um, and it's come out of Vault. I can't remember what Vault it is off the top of my head. If you bear with me,
Mhm.
I will just quickly check.
Go ahead.
But yes, but it looks really cool. Like, have you seen any of the pictures?
I have, and the it does look like they've got the motif of Fallout down, but the question is how the show's writing will go. Because Amazon's in a lot of deep doo doo right now. A lot of the Lord of the Ring fans are mad about the tone with their new show. So the question
I've
is,
heard, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the question is, how closely will they follow the Fallout lore? Now, there is a possibility it'll be fine. They got good production people behind it, but for all we know, it could also be
Well, it
not fine.
it does say that Bethesda are quite involved in this, and I mean they are pretty protective of the IP. I mean they're saying even though we don't probably not going to get another Fallout game besides 76 updates for another 10 years maybe, they're still pretty protective, like adamant that they don't want anyone doing like a spin-off of the series or anything like that, a la Fallout New Vegas. Um, so but it seems like they're going to be they're going to be quite on it, and that yeah, Bethesda are getting involved with the writing of it, and sort of so it's going to follow the law. Because obviously a franchise like, I mean, I know Lord of the Rings is a very, this is where like video games like TV adaptations go wrong. Do you agree with
Mhm.
this? That
I agree.
they basically they don't follow the law of the game, and they try and just change stuff, and it just alienates the fans, and they makes them unsuccessful because the gamers like who would watch it are like, yeah, this is nothing like that game.
Yeah,
So
remember what happened with.
like,
Do you remember the Halo TV series that aired on Paramount Plus earlier this year? I did like some of the new directions it took, but the second, I mean the nanosecond that Master Chief took off his helmet, fans said the writing was on the wall.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
that left a lot of people divided. So, my question is, what direction are they going to take the Fallout series? Because that's the thing. The Halo series was all right, but obviously, there's some things that changed from the games, and that pissed
Mm.
off a lot of people. So, now the Fallout people, they've got a very specific example they have to follow. Now, Bethesda's on board, but then again, 343 Industries was on board with the Halo series, and it didn't go the way the fans wanted. So, now the
Mm.
real question is, when they announce this, when they show the trailer, how's it going to go? That's
Well,
going to be the big question that needs answering.
from the pictures of the shots, it looks pretty accurate. Like the inside the vault, it looks you could be it's like you could be looking at like real life representations of Fallout 3 or something, or Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It which is good. It's encouraging signs. The vault number, by the way, is Vault 32. I apologize. I couldn't, for some reason I couldn't
How
remember.
dare you?
I know,
How
I know.
dare
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna go home and take a good look at myself.
Oh, you're all
Um,
right.
but yeah, I mean, so we're hopeful for this, but obviously, people should try and avoid getting their hopes up too much for this. I'm sure everyone's keeping it in check. They know, we know, we know what TV shows can do to our video games, and it ain't good, for the most
But
part.
then again, we could be genuinely surprised.
We
Like the
could,
Castlevania anime series is outstanding.
or The Witcher.
Yeah, the
The
the the
Witcher was a
the, the,
decent
the Witcher
TV.
was great too. Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
well, part of that's just Henry Cavill being, hot AF. So
Yeah.
even I'll admit that I'm hot AF, and he's gonna melt me into the ground. That's how hot he is.
Okay. Well, so I mean, from a Fallout point of view, I mean, it's great. That it, it's exciting possibility. It hopefully will keep it, keep Fallout IP sort of in the mind share of people for the 10 years or so when we might get a new game. But what we might get is a remaster or something of the old, or remake of the old Fallout games, like Fallout 3. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe something will come out of Quake-Con in between now and the end of the show. Um, but what have we got next to talk about? Because
Well, I'll tell you what. Some leaks came out from our friends over there at Amazon and our buddy Wario64. Some interesting leaks. Well, this one got confirmed, so it's not too much of a leak. But the new Ghostbusters game from Ilphonic is coming. It will be a multiplayer thing, 4 versus 1, so you can play as the ghosts and slime the Ghostbusters if that's your thing. It will drop on October 18th, just in time for Halloween, and it looks like it's going to be a good time. Because Elphonic, they previously worked on the Predator Hunting Grounds game, as well as Friday the 13th, the game. They know their stuff, and they also just released Arcade Geddon, which is really good. So they know their stuff, and I'm really excited to see what this is like. I mean, I don't know how closely you follow the Ghostbusters lore, but I think you'll have fun with this.
mm, mm. Yeah, and because there's also something else you wanted to tell us outside of the Ghostbusters. I mean, I myself, Ghostbusters, I remember watching the cartoon. I think that came out. Was
Mhm.
it in
Yeah.
the it was early 90s or late 80s? It was either, put it this way, I was a kid when it came out, so it definitely came out, but like the latest was the early 90s. I'm not sure when it stopped coming out, to be honest with you. I'm sure it was probably coming out in the 80s as well. Is that right?
Yeah, something. I mean, the original movie came out in '84. The sequel came out in '89. Then they had the animated series. They came back in 2016 with the all-female one, which turned off a few people, but wasn't bad. Then they did Afterlife last year, and now they're working on a sequel to Afterlife. So it's still going strong. It's just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
games. In the games, we had like Ghostbusters, a video game that just got re-released a few years ago, and it features the stars from the film, which is really cool.
Mm.
And then they had like some top-down shooter, isometric shooter, wasn't that good. And then you forgot about the NES Ghostbusters games, which let's leave those forgotten, just because. But yeah, I mean that's coming soon. Ilphonic's game looks like it'll be a lot of fun. We'll figure that out soon. And then yeah, there was the other thing I was going to talk about, Sunsoft, but their presentation's not for 90 minutes. I'm kind of hoping they bring back the Arrow of the Acrobat and Zero of the Kamikaze Squirrel games, because you can't find those on Super Nintendo without paying at least a couple $100,
Yeah, I
and they're
mean,
even more rare on Sega Genesis. So it is.
ooh. Well, I
They're,
mean,
they're
look, speaking of of squirrels, squirrel with a gun, uh,
Yep.
whatever. I can't. You just said something about a kamikaze
Yeah,
squirrel or
the
something.
preview.
I
Yeah.
saw one
Preview went up
today.
a couple days ago.
I saw one today. I was gonna. So this is a side note away from the show, everyone.
Okay, hit it.
I did actually. I was on I was running today, and I saw one just dead on the side of the road. I was like, squirrel with a gun has been here.
Wait, he
um,
actually had a gun? Hold on a minute. Are
no, no,
they
no, no, no.
promotional stuff is getting out of hand
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah. I was thinking. I was like, it just made me think of squirrel with a gun. I thought maybe the squirrel with a gun had been here and was the killer. He was the killer squirrel, shot dead his buddy, or his enemy, clearly. But yeah, we're getting off track. Sorry about that. Um,
You and the squirrels, man. What the?
it was just that game was funny, like squirrel with a gun. It's just a funny
It's
concept, isn't
everywhere.
it?
Okay, yeah, there's a squirrel on the ground. Does it have a gun? Let's find out.
Detective Joe is back.
Yeah, it's just funny how familiarity sets in with some things, which brings me to our next story. It
Mm.
appears that we have more details on what's going on with the next Tales from the Borderlands game. It's set to drop in October, according to a leak, and it will feature all new characters not featured in the original Tales series. And it looks like there will be a deluxe edition with a number of goods as well. Now, Gearbox has not confirmed this yet. They did confirm they were working on a new one, but the leak wasn't supposed to, let this information out of the bag. But apparently now an announcement will take place, but the game will drop on October 21st.
Okay. Okay. Oh, actually, there has just been an update I've just seen on Twitter as well. Sorry. This
Mm,
is also a new game announcement.
go
Slime
for it.
Rancher on September I believe it's the 22nd. Bear with me.
Yeah, early access. That's actually Slime Rancher 2, the
Slime
sequel.
Rancher 2, yeah, 22nd of September.
Yep. And on top of that, it will also be on Xbox Game Pass.
Mmm, get that Game Pass goodness. It seems
Yes,
to be
got to have the Game
decent.
Pass goodness. But if we're going to talk about sequels that we thought we'd never see, then this is how we're going to, wrap up our show with our biggest story around there. So a few years ago, our friends over at Deep Silver announced Dead Island 2. Right? This was several years ago, like
15 it
2014,
was, I
something,
think. Yeah, yeah, it might have
2014,
been
2015,
14. Yeah, yeah, sorry, yeah.
years ago. And then it vanished because the original developer got dismissed from it. Deep Silver decided to put it on hold. We never heard from it again. Deep Silver swore it was coming, swore it was coming, swore it was coming, and everything like that. Well, it looks like they were going to have some sort of official announcement next week during the opening night live thing at Gamescom. But apparently, according to a leak, Dead Island 2 is not only not dead, but it is going to come out on February 3rd, 2023. 2
And
3 2 3.
that is mental. And like, I can't believe. Let's take aside the fact that February next year is absolutely stacked and it's going to be insane.
It is.
Dead Island 2, like Dead Island is literally back from the dead. Everyone was like it's dead, and I think it's Techland, isn't it? Who obviously got Dying Light.
Yeah. And
Um,
the weird thing is, it doesn't take place on an island. It's in LA.
yeah,
That's not an
yeah.
island.
Well, it's just it's the name of the game. I'm so surprised this is back, and I'm so psyched as well because I love that game.
Hmm.
Um, and you know what? And I was actually late to it as well. I didn't play it until like on the Xbox One and the definitive edition.
Well, it's nice to circle around to it because like the original one was made by Techland, and then Techland went on to make their Dying Light games. This
Mm.
was the developer behind this is Dambuster Studios. They previously worked on the new
Oh,
Homefront
okay.
Revolution game. So yeah, I mean it was originally Jaeger, and then Jaeger got pulled because they weren't. I guess their work wasn't up to snuff. I don't know what happened, but now it's Dambuster. So it looks like the early screenshots look promising. And it looks like it's definitely got that vibe from the original Dead Island down, which is good news. So
Mm.
hopefully, Tuesday when opening night live comes around, we'll see a trailer and they'll say, okay, it's not dead anymore. Because practically it was the next Duke Nukem Forever. Like
Yeah,
we had
yes,
never
yeah,
seen it for like several years. And they go, oh, wait, remember this? Oh, oh, hi, Dead Island. Oh,
I'm
you're
glad
back.
it's back. Like, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to playing it. I hope that um because it has that fun element to it as well. It kind of like what was it, Dead Rising? That was I mean, different type of game. I'm aware, but it had like that sort of slight bit of humor to it as well. And that's what I think. That's what Dead Island had as well to a degree.
Yep.
That maybe you don't get in Dying Light. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I'm not comparing. They're apples and oranges almost in terms of in the genre at least, the zombie genre. I'm so psyched it's back. I can't wait to play. And was it not multiplayer?
I believe it is. It's 4-player co-op.
Mm. So yeah, we'll have to get on that sometime. That'll be real good news. But do you know what is not good news, Gladrius?
What's not good news?
High on Life has been delayed to
Uh,
December 13th. So it's still this
Well,
year.
yeah, it's not like Starfield, which has been delayed to like 2092. So you're in good
No!
hands. No, we're
uh,
gonna see Starfield this weekend, and they're gonna reveal a bunch of stuff at Quake-Con. Come on, it's Bethesda. They're not gonna show Starfield this weekend.
don't think they're going to show new gameplay footage, but I think we'll find out more information about Starfield there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
Um,
does. But yeah, I mean, High on Life, I know you were looking forward to and everything, but I mean, it's a quality of life thing. When you look at these delays, right? Like we could have had, well, Saints Row is finally coming out on Tuesday, right? But it was originally supposed to be out in February. But if
Mm,
we think about it, if it had come out in February and then patched to shit, and it all reflects back to Cyberpunk, right? Remember when Cyberpunk came out and it
mm.
was garbage? It was not, it was hot
Yeah.
garbage, and it took a year of patches to make things right. But now it's actually pretty good. Imagine if they had just delayed it for a year and then released it in its good state. People wouldn't be trashing it. They'd be happy that the game got delayed and everything like that. So sometimes you have to take
Mm.
the delay with a grain of salt. There's a reason they delay a game. They're not doing it to piss you off or anything like that. They're doing it to make the game better.
No,
That's
of
what a lot of
course.
these people don't understand. Like God of War Ragnarok could have come out earlier this year, but they wait on a date and everything like that. And how did the fans respond? Oh, here's a picture of my junk. I'm still trying to figure out how that makes sense. How does this make sense at all? Here's
Oh
a picture of
dear.
my junk. Give me a release date. Oh, yes, I will now that you've sent me your junk. What is that?
I know it's mental,
Stupid,
but you know what? It's
stupid,
only going to
stupid.
come to bite them. Excuse the pun. Bite them in the bollocks. But because
This show
like
just took
someone
a
will probably
turn for
just
the
like they'll take it.
R-rated.
They'll be like, okay, it's disgusting. Oh, make an NFT out of it, and that way you own someone else's junk, and they'll be like,
Uh,
fuck. That's the ultimate like middle finger,
I
isn't it? It's
sold
just
my
like.
junk for $18.
No, it's more like
God,
I sent a developer my junk
need
and now
help.
they own my junk as an NFT, which will appear in some future game somewhere.
Right? Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm just saying a delay makes sense. And December, that's perfect for Christmas. You can have a
Yeah,
Justin Roiland
December 13th.
Christmas.
December 13th. You've got it's come to Game Pass as well. I
Yep.
think it's day one in Game Pass too. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. I'm just checking for stuff that's coming out of Quake-Con. It looks like we're all up to date with stuff that's going on there at the moment.
What's going on?
Let's we've got Quake-Con, the Elder Scrolls Online. It's just some Elder Scrolls Online stuff coming out. Um,
Let's see. I'm looking for any.
Vets
Like I said, I'm looking for that
Dreadsail Reef.
confirmation of Quake Champions, but it looks like there is a possibility that they could announce Quake 2 remastered as well.
Hmm,
Because
that could
the
be.
original Quake was remastered last year and it did really great. So
Yeah, yeah, man. I've been playing that with a couple of my mates. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And the old Doom games as well, because they got them all on the Xbox, didn't they?
yep, they sure
All the old
did.
school
They
Doom
sure
games,
did.
and that was like a proper Those just Doom and Quake were some of the first games that I played. Like me and those and like old school Star Wars games on the old like PC and Mac. I
Yeah.
don't even know they're so old. I don't even know what the name of them. Like me and one of my friends when I was a kid used to play them on his dad's computer or something like that, and
Nice.
that was a lot of fun. Anyway, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I would love it if they brought out. I'm hoping that this is like the start of them properly reviving that IP, you know, because it's got they can do so much more with it now, and like, you see what they're doing with Doom at the moment. Think about what they could do with Quake.
Oh yeah. I mean, Quake could, like I said, well, if they release Quake Champions on consoles, if they give us Quake 2 remastered, then what's going to come next year? Quake 3 Arena. That was one of the best games. I've been playing that on my Dreamcast.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. The Dreamcast was so good. You know what? We need to do a show which is just dedicated to Sega consoles.
Oh, why don't you just do it on a retro show like the one you introduced earlier this week? Hmm.
Oh, you mean the one that I was on?
Yeah.
You mean
Or
oh
yeah, get them back. We'll do a show on Dreamcast. Let's talk about them.
okay. Well, yeah, we could
Just
do.
an idea, because you can always have a good discussion with people. It's great to talk about stuff that doesn't involve somebody else's junk, which is great, by the way. Don't talk about somebody else's junk.
Yeah, yeah. At least not in front of them.
That'd be
Um,
bad.
no, I'm just kidding.
But what, you gonna talk behind their back? He's like, oh man, I heard that guy has got like an
I'm just kidding.
elephant set. That's terrible. That's
um,
okay. You're a terrible.
honestly, guys, we're not giving life advice. Not good life advice, at least. Well, some of us.
Welcome to the junk cast on this week's show. Look at Jeff. What's wrong with Jeff? Ugh. We're not
Oh
doing.
dear.
We are not talking about people. But no, we could do like a retro cast with those guys, and we could just talk all stuff Dreamcast. I am down for that.
Yeah, man, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
I love the Dreamcast, man. It's got some of my favorite games like in the world on it, like Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2, the old Sonic Adventure games, Crazy Taxi. Oh man, there's so many decent games on that system.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, okay, we'll definitely do that. We'll talk about that though.
Yeah, we
Further.
will. So keep an eye out for that, and then what we'll do, we'll check back in next week with another episode of this show. We'll recap everything that happened at Quake-Con. We'll see whatever Sunsoft did, and then what other stuff we expect from Opening Night Live, because that's coming up on Tuesday. That'll be the beginning of Gamescom, and that's going to be a good show. Because I mean, Jeff Keighley's always promised 30 reveals along with
Mm.
free Mountain Dew and Doritos for everyone. So
There's
make sure you tune in.
I've heard some things as well. I've heard some things like I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah.
some we're gonna have some Persona news for the anniversary. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. So yeah, so I mean that's not you guys know that's not really my bag that game, but yeah,
Right.
there's gonna be some interesting for. I mean, it's never going to be the E3 or quote unquote E3 level
Oh,
of in terms of announcements and stuff, but there is some cool stuff coming up for Gamescom, and I can't wait to talk about it.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm. Absolutely. Okay, well, look, guys, we've had fun. We got through this quite quickly. We are going to try and make these newscasts a little bit more regularly. Um, or, we're going to try and keep them nice and regular. The
And we'll
podcast.
also we're also going to have people as well. We're going to mix things up as well. It's not just going to be me coming in from outer space all the time. We're going to bring Brad Breeze, Kyle, whenever he's done making his food. What's he got on his dinner plate? He never told us what he was making us for dinner.
Kyle, if you're listening to this, drop
Yo,
us a message. What are you having for dinner, man?
Kyle, grilled
Can I
cheese,
come round? I'm hungry.
grilled cheese sandwiches, and of
Grilled cheese.
course Steven and whoever we're going to bring in for the retro cats. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have fun with the show.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Davy Boy as well. Don't know why it took me
David
about a million
boy.
years to. I got Davy Boy. Did it. Had a bit of a Professor Quirrell stutter then. Harry Potter.
That
Okay.
badass accent. That's what it is.
That is, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys. Look, I mean, do you want to Do you want to do an outro or?
Oh, we'll do an outro. I am a Galarius. You can find me on their Discord channel. I'm usually hunting other game rooms as well. So yeah, I'm everywhere. So hi. I guess that's my outro. And then that's Mopish, being Mopish.
Yeah, I'm Mopish Lawyer. I haunt arcades, and steal people's change. Um,
They'll be around stealing Pokemon cards over
yeah,
the
yeah.
weekend
Oh,
from
yeah. Quick
5-year-olds.
reminder, please. If anyone wants to give someone some Pokemon cards, I'm ideally the original 150 gen. Um, please, I'm in need, and it's gonna make a fine display
I
piece
could
in
just,
my games
I
room.
could, I could see you on a corner like with a sign and a little like coffee mug saying "Will work for Pokemon cards."
A Pokehole. Is that a thing? No, let's not go any further on that. Um, yeah. Um, oh, we're getting messages coming through here.
Breeze is all like, I couldn't make it this week. It's all right. We'll get her next time. It's all good.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. We'll get her next time. All right. Okay. Look, guys, this has been fun. Like, catch us more at Gamer Hub. Like, we're here. Well, Gladrius is in outer space, but I'm here. And he can be summoned quite easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, peace out. Join us. Join the conversation on Twitter. Join us on Facebook. Say hi. We love you all. See you in a bit.
Yeah. Peace and chicken grease, and don't talk about someone else's junk.
Or do. I mean, don't.
Don't.